The biographer of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex warned that his next book will reveal moments that the royal family should be ashamed of. Omid Scobie claimed he was one of few journalists writing about the royal family whose work was impartial and spin-free. As such, he said his forthcoming book, provocatively titled Endgame, Inside the Royal Family and the Monarchy's Fight for Survival, would focus on the negative as much as the positive and would shine a light on unsolved mysteries. Endgame not only looks at the successes of our royal family but also the failures, the things to be proud of and those they should be ashamed of, he wrote in the newspaper. Precisely because this is an establishment that sits at the heart of our society, and a family that has often been held up as role models of civility and decorum, it's more important than ever we can take an accurate look at whether that still holds today. Just like this country's politicians, the royals are not, and should not be, above reproach, no matter how desperately certain press secretaries may want you to think so. Mr. Scobie's first book, Finding Freedom, which he wrote with Caroline Durand, made sweeping personal revelations about the Sussexes' private lives. The Duchess was forced to admit during her High Court privacy claim against Associated Newspapers that she had authorized an aide to brief the two authors for the book. She apologized for misleading the court and claimed that she had not remembered email exchanges in which she was told about a 2-hour meeting between Jason Nauf, her communication secretary, Mr. Scobie and Ms. Durand. The messages revealed that she provided briefing notes for Mr. Nauf ahead of the meeting and that the Duke had offered to tell the authors what his wife had been through in the public eye. Finding Freedom was notably favorable towards the Sussexes and written from their perspective. Endgame is expected to be similar, and Mr. Scobie has admitted that he has spent time in California while working on the book. His second offering will be published in November and has been written during a time of deep personal divide between the Sussexes and most senior members of the royal family. Mr. Scobie described it as an unfiltered investigation into the current state of the royal family, but insisted that it would be impartial. In order to tell a full story, it has to be written without fear of favor, regardless of the consequences, he said. At a time when more people than ever are questioning the relevancy, purpose and role of the monarchy in modern Britain, the need for thorough, spin-free, and well-rounded insight and reporting has never been more important than it is now. As well as speaking with those involved in some of the most defining and controversial royal moments in recent years, the book also brings new details on unsolved mysteries as well as stories you will be reading about for the very first time. Quote,